Hey everyone, and we are live with one more interview. And we are waiting on the speaker, and the speaker is coming on now. So let us hit the record. So let us make this ready. Let us see. Hey Kelly.
Hello.
On your way there. We are live right now, just as you know.
Wonderful. How are you this morning?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Doing good.
Amazing. Yeah. Hey everyone, and welcome to Serve the Animals. And my name is Tanja Andersen. And today we have a special guest. I've looked so much forward to this interview because when Kelly and I have an intro call together, we was very similar, and I like how she speak, like how strong voice she have, a strong opinion, and I really appreciate that. And we have a lovely conversation, so I look so much forward to this. So this is my friend Kelly Tope. I hope I say your last name correct, my friend. Welcome.
Yep, you got it.
And welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me as well. And yes, I loved our conversation, our initial conversation. So very much looking forward to this.
I love that. So who is this lady as you look at here? Who is that lady? So she is founder and president of, if I said correct, wrong, my friend, so please serve me, Farmers Animal Sanctuary. Was that correct?
Yeah, Farmers Day. So like Namaste, Farmers Day Animal Sanctuary.
Farmers Day.
Yep.
Love it.
We find that we have the Zen place for the animals.
That is true. And their mission, I really love the mission for this amazing sanctuary. So the mission for this sanctuary is the farmers. Their mission is to help farm animals become someone and not something. I was like, oh, I love that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we had very good mentors going into this, and wanting to take this adventure, and certainly how we wanted to present that and what we wanted to share. And something that was very important to us was to be able to get that message out. And so that was something that was shared with us, and so we took that forward into our mission. And it has absolutely served us well in everything that we've done since we opened our doors.
Oh my God, so amazing. So share a little bit about who you are, Kelly, and like where did this start, where you choose to create a sanctuary? Like where did your passion start in the beginning? I know a little bit about it. So share that a little bit with the audience where everything started.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so I am, like many animal lovers, I am that person who I will say was always late to everything because I was always rescuing animals somewhere. It didn't matter where it was or what I was supposed to be going to. It didn't matter. I was going to stop to rescue those animals. And so that love and that passion was with me from the very beginning. I did get into the business side of life, and I went that route, in my career. So that was where the path that I took. But through taking care of one of our animals who did become very ill, it sparked back in me that desire to help animals and that desire to do something beyond just rescuing them off of the roads or, so forth, and then getting them back to their homes. I really wanted to provide a space that the animals could continue to have that safe feeling and that safe place to land. And in the midst of doing that, at the same time that I was kind of transitioning into that side of it, my daughter was also diagnosed with pretty severe anxiety and depression, and animals became such a huge piece of her daily need for comfort and, just a place to be able to feel safe, not judged, to be able to really, we say we heal the animals and the animals heal us. So it's such a great combination between the two. And in doing that and kind of watching her go through that journey, I knew I wanted to do something for both. I wanted to do something for animals, but I wanted to do something that also in turn would help people that potentially were going through the same types of struggles and the same type of needing that soft landing spot. And so we created a place where the animals can come and feel safe. And we do have opportunities for people to come as well and be able to really sit with the animals and just be able to sit in that Zen zone, that place and that safety spot.
And also to be volunteer, as I really, really love all about volunteer life. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's so beautiful. And I really love that, as you also know, Kelly, like volunteer life, as I'm a really big believer and stand for volunteer life, where life is changing on that point. Like we making the biggest change in our life when we choose to be volunteer, at least 3 months, because it takes at least 6 months to change what happens. And volunteer life, as you share with your daughter, and thank you so much for sharing that. I can see myself in that. Like I was running from a home in 2013. First time I was volunteer. I did not know I did that. And the connection to serve the animals, because the animals need to serve them in what they need, because they're coming to this place because of a human did something to them, has really, first of all, find my vision in life, and also healed something where another person could never touch me because I was so closed off. With an animal, I always feel this seeing my soul. I feel so naked and I feel so raw and vulnerable. And I feel it's a safe place for me to connect with it because I can see myself in the animals.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very interesting when you share that and kind of, put that vulnerability out there. You are absolutely correct that it's a place to be able to be vulnerable, but yet there's nobody there judging you. There's no one there saying anything against whatever that emotion, whatever that feeling, whatever that thing is that you're currently going through. It's just such a safe spot. And we want to be able to also offer that as the humans that are there in that space. And so it's very important to me that we work to be able to allow people to feel accepted wherever they are and whoever they are. And, we are not there to judge them when they come into our space. We are there to be able to say, come in, you're welcome. You're welcome not only by the animals, you are also welcome by us. And that is something that's very important to me. And it's something that we don't see a lot within our community. And so, and trust me, it's also something that we have received backlash from, people within our community because of our thoughts on that and because of the way that we approach that. And that is something that it certainly is hard for me to, know that I feel like I'm doing this thing, or, I created this thing. And certainly it's not just me, it's everyone in our team, but that there's this place that we wanted to create to be able to have this safe landing spot for everybody. That is, quite frankly, hit often by people who are within our own community and people that we would think would be there to help support that and be able to help say, yes, we believe and trust, and we want you to continue to drive this thought process forward. And that's not always the case. And that's certainly something that you have to be willing to really have, that strong standing point to be able to stand in that truth and say, I get it. This isn't what you necessarily agree or believe in. And that's okay for you to feel that. But it's also okay for me to say, this is the direction we're going with this, because we believe it's going to create a better community for more people that want to be involved in it.
Love that. I have only experience with like how to be a vegan, and it's a little bit the same as you share. I meet some people, not so much more. In the beginning, when I choose to be vegan and choose to create a vegan panel party in Denmark, there was the right way and the wrong way to be vegan. I was like, what? Who have created that book on what is the right way and the wrong way?
Rule?
Yeah, who made that one? And I think it was so interesting. Something I also really connect with you, Kelly, is like, if I choose to judge someone, as I was in the beginning when I choose to be volunteer, not volunteer, to be vegan for this time, I was so judgmental. So it was really unhealthy. And I could see that on my family. I could see that on people around. I was like, okay, it's something with me and I get to change. It's not them, I get to change so that I can connect with them where they are. And it is so critical in this movement, as me, we're doing. It's just like we get to meet people where they are, and there's nothing the wrong way and the right way. Because if we choose to take that head on, as you share about, who are we on that point? We are choosing to do violence. And if we stand for empathy, we stand for compassion. There's no compassion in my mind and empathy if we choose to do violence, because judgments is violence, is saying the right way, the wrong way. So there's so interesting. There's also happened that in the sanctuary world.
Yeah. And it's so harmful. It is something that for people to be able to look from the outside and say, do I want to be a part of this? Do I want to join this movement? I believe in pieces. I believe in this. I love animals. But do I want to be a part of that? Do I want to insert myself into whatever that is that's, going on and whatever makes this happening? And it is a turnoff for people, unfortunately. If they feel like they're going to come in here and if they're not the perfect vegan or the perfect thing, the perfect sanctuary, and don't get me wrong, this isn't to say that if somebody's out there and they are, claiming or, taking the word of vegan and yet they're, going out and purposefully doing things that are still very much against veganism. I'm not supporting that. I'm not saying that that's something that we need to support. I am saying the people that are working to make an effort, the people that are working to try to do good, let's figure out how to work with them. Let's figure out how to say, what can we do to help you continue to make that movement? Not say you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. It's not going to be something that's going to create an environment where they will want to take that next step or maybe go in a little bit further. And if you want them to go a little bit further, you need to meet them and you need to say, let me walk with you. Let me help guide you into whatever this is. And at whatever way is the way that's going to speak to you. Because I am not an expert. I currently, run a sanctuary. I do it with a lot of other individuals who are there with me. It is not just me. This is not the Kelly show. It is absolutely a whole entire team of people. And I welcome that all those people look at it slightly differently than I do sometimes. And that's a good thing. It's a way for us to then go together and say, okay, what is the best outcome then we can gather from all these different minds that have brilliant ideas and have different ways of maybe getting to things. It doesn't have to be one path. And that's why that's why it's so important to me to share with people. It's not just sanctuary. There are so many other avenues to be able to get out there and get that message out there. And it's not that everybody out there needs to open a sanctuary in order to make this movement grow or make people aware of the importance and value of an animal's life. It is really, truly about, we're a stepping stone. We're one step. We're one thing to get to the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. And hopefully we do a good job of tying all those things together instead of just saying, oh no, it's just sanctuary. You can only do good if you're in sanctuary. That it's just not the case. There's so many avenues, and I want to work with all of them to make sure that we do the right thing to get that message out to everybody.
Yeah, and it's so powerful. It is so powerful, because if we really truly meet a person where they are, as my experience and also how the mindset is working, they are on a higher skill to choose to change something that being met about there's something wrong with you. Because inside, no matter what we choose, no matter what lifestyle we have, we want to be seen and heard. Like before I choose to be vegan and go plant-based, I choose to eat dead animals because I was in suffering. There was a way for me to do self-harm to myself because I know what I did support. And there was a way for me to do self-harm. Is I'm wrong? No, it's just like you also get to the audience to see, okay, where do people come from? Like I was really like fake it till you make it, a people pleaser. And I was really doing self-harm to myself. No one know that. And that was a way for me to do self-harm, was also to do self-harm to other living beings. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all do something because it's coming from some place in the past. And we get to be honest with it and see it for what it is. And really meet, as Kelly saying, meet people that see you and will never judge you for it and say, okay, thank you for sharing. Like, what is one step you can do to make that change? And be met there to create love in that area. That is, and like we are on a higher scale, bigger, like choosing to change us when we're being met, like Kelly saying, where a person sees us instead of judging us for what we did, because most of the time we're not aware about why we do as we do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're completely correct that it has to be your choice. It has to be you choosing to do that. I am not a person who, if somebody comes up and says, you have to go here, you have to do this, you have to do that, I'm going to go, wait a minute. Why do I have to do that? What are you talking about? I need to be able to be the one to evaluate it, pull it in, take it in for who I want to be. And then I need to walk forward in my own path and my own truth. And that may not look like everybody else's. And that's where I say, it may not be that everyone out there opens a sanctuary in order to feel like they've somehow made some, track forward on this movement. It might be that they join, an activism group in their area. It might be that they, make changes just in their diet. And I don't say just in a light way. I mean, that's, also a huge step. I say it as it's okay to be able to decide what's the version of what you want to do to be able to get to that end result, which, as we all know, is helping the animals. I mean, and certainly I think there are numerous people out there who might look and say, oh, this place does this like this, that's wrong. They can't. Why is it wrong? What is wrong about it? Are they still getting a message out? Are they doing it in a way that is not harming animals? Have they not done it to the level that you wanted them to do it to? That's your qualification that you're putting on them. That is not that individual person and the thing that they need to be able to take those next steps. And that is just so important to me, being in this community, because there's times in this community, even as someone who started a sanctuary, where I still feel very ostracized in things that we do here. And that's really important for people to be able to understand that, people would think, oh, but, you started a sanctuary, everybody must think that this is wonderful and amazing. No, I will tell you, no, I will absolutely tell you, there are people in our community that I feel very much would absolutely say negative things out there. That doesn't harm me. That harms the animals. So we need to stop doing that to each other. And we need to really work to figure out what things can we say that are positive about each other in wherever we're at in this particular movement.
Yeah, so powerful, so powerful. And always what I say to people, if you like pain, people get pain, as you say, if a person chooses to judge you, it's because they are in pain inside. So it's always for me showing, okay, where are you? Maybe you're not right about it, but definitely 100% there is some pain in you right now not working with, because you're putting it on me right now and you're doing harm to the animals through me.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and sanctuaries are such a small piece of what we need to do in this movement to be able to continue to rescue more animals. And that it just needs to be recognized that it's certainly, I understand it's the fun, cuddly, people see it and it, you think, oh, your days must just be amazing. You get to cuddle all these animals. I get to shovel a lot of stalls. I get to do a lot of that. I get to do a lot of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I certainly, I love knowing that I'm doing it for them and that I'm able to create an environment that works for them. But, the days are not all sit in the green grass and, enjoy the animals and just pet and love on them. There is a lot of work, and it is certainly something that is not necessarily meant for everybody. And that is a message that I need heard out there, so that people don't go into this thinking, oh, this is this great, wonderful, happy, grass is greener on the other side, I'll sit and hang out with the animals. There is a lot of work. It is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And again, understand that I know some people will say, well, that's okay, I need to be able to be in that. You need to be able to say, is this something that I can emotionally move through as well, to be able to know that on the other side, I did the best that I could do with it, because there's a lot of emotional turmoil that goes on within operating sanctuaries. And, you're getting hit from different sides. Your fundraising is a very hard thing to do. And you have their lives, literally in that same space that you're wanting to make sure to do the best thing for. So it is not something that I say everybody should get into. That's why I would rather promote that everybody finds the thing that will work for them in this movement, to be able to have the fortitude to continue to drive forward in that path and in that thing. Does not have to be sanctuary for everybody. That is not necessarily a message that we want to convey to everybody. There are all different paths and all different ways, and all of them are amazing. And we need to be able to, encourage every one of them, not just the ones that happen to have the cute animals that everybody can come and snuggle. We need to promote and encourage every avenue that you can get to the same thing.
Yeah, it is so powerful. It's like, when I have been out in the outside in the world, as I know of, like, because I'm have my first education as an animal keeper, and I know 80% of the work, it is cleaning, and it's shuffle dirt and cleaning. It is not like, oh, you're so sweet. No, it is hard work. It is cleaning, and out of the 18, that is feeding time.
I totally welcome that. It's definitely wonderful. They're very beautiful. But at the same time, that is something that people need to understand. Sometimes that's not all glamour and great. And you're not getting up every day going, yay, let me go show the stalls again.
Yeah, it is so good point, because every time I've been out to volunteer, it is when most volunteers is not aware about how much of the work is only about cleaning.
Yeah.
It's just like, I have no clue their work, what like so much around cleaning. It is.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that I share with people is, if you are going to look at sanctuary, go and work there for a full year. in every single solitary place. Work in fundraising, work in volunteer management, which is always a beautiful challenge. Work within cleaning, work within care, work within vet, being out there for the vet appointments, work within not having vacation, because guess what? An animal got sick and you can't go on the vacation that you had planned. Go through all of that, because all of that is going to let you see, is this really something that is the right place for me? And it's okay if it's not. I think so many people think, oh, if I can't do all that stuff, if I can't give up all those things, then I'm not doing what's worthy for my path in this. And that's just not the case. It's not the case. It just means that thing is not necessarily the right path for you. Does not mean that you can't still be heavily involved in this movement and still do amazing work to really work to help save animals.
It is just a so good point. So guys, the topic Kelly and we are talking about, this topic is I'm just like in it. The topic we are talking about is rescue beyond the sanctuary. That word is a little bit challenging for me. Fenceline.
Yes. Rescue beyond sanctuary.
Okay, that was just like the last word, like, what is that word?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about this, what can people learn around to work together in the journey to treat more?
Yeah, I think something else that is heard and kind of the rumble sometimes around the community is that, sanctuaries aren't, they can only do so much. And that's seen as a bad thing. And it really needs to not be seen as a bad thing. You need to actually work to team together then. You need to be able to say, we are one step. Sanctuary may be a place where people are actually introduced to these animals. They're introduced to animals that they may not have ever thought about in the light of, oh, these are actually like our dogs and cats. They're actually animals that have personalities. They're animals that we can fall in love with. That's really where sanctuary comes into play. It's not only that they rescue the animals and actually have the animals there at their locations. It's also about how are people educated in knowing and understanding those animals and who they are, and that they are beings that have a life, and it's valuable. And it's something that we need to look at to say, why am I choosing over here that I may still be eating meat, or I may still be doing something over on this side? But in my mind, I love animals, and I love my dog. I love my cat. I love animals. I think cows are cute. I like to see them out in a field. That's all great stuff. But there's that disconnect, which we all know, between that thought process and the actual thought process of, oh, then that means I don't actually want them slaughtered. And I want them to continue to be here. And so I think that the sanctuaries need to be allowed to be that place where they can come and have that initial education, that initial step, that initial place. And some sanctuaries choose not to have an education program. And that's their choice on that matter. We choose that is part of what our sanctuary is going to represent. We want to be that stepping stone that then allows people to go, oh, okay, I wasn't even processing that this way. I wasn't even thinking about that this way. And now what else can I go do? Maybe I'm not, meant to go buy acreage and, have a sanctuary. So if I don't do that, what else can I do? And that is where we as a sanctuary offer up other places for then people to expand that, extend that. We have Compassion Action for Animals, a local group that's here in our community. We're able to share their information. We're able to be a part of their Veg Fest so that we can share with people, come to the Veg Fest, come and see these other organizations, come and see other areas and places that maybe you can volunteer. Maybe it'll come up with ideas of things to, create, to share other things that people can use beyond animals and not using animals or instead of animals. And so those are ways that we hope we're that stepping stone to get people into that next place. Let them meet the animals, let them understand these animals, start to form a relationship with them, start to see that they are absolutely beautiful beings that we need to be able to work to protect and work to save. But maybe that's not at a sanctuary. Maybe that's something else. Maybe that is the next step beyond that. Maybe it is a sanctuary. I'm not trying to completely say that nobody should open sanctuaries, but maybe there's something else that fits for that individual. It doesn't just stop there. And that's where we need to do our job then to be able to make those connections in with other organizations. And if we sit here and go, no, sanctuary is it, this is it, there's not, this is the only thing that can happen, then we've stopped that continuing education that allows that person to get into the next thing that works for them. And we may have actually at that point stopped their movement forward and stopped being able to create another opportunity for them to see these animals in a different way. And so that is on us, that we didn't really do the job that was needed of us, which was not only to watch for and take care of the animals, it's actually also to offer the humans another way to continue forward and another way to want to really embrace this movement. And maybe it's through a different step, and maybe it's through a different organization. And we were just the window to get them through into the house.
I love that. And that is the power in volunteer life, as I see it, is the window into to really restore the connection in you to your true identity, as I've experienced with volunteer life. Like volunteers, like really open your eyes in so many areas that, as I've experienced, never person have could touch me. Like volunteer life is a powerful tool to be with animals that need a human to stand for them and let go of our own needs and really focus on what is the animal's needs. Like volunteer life is so powerful to also see. Sometimes we have no clue, like, this is what I want. And when we experience volunteer life, like, oh my God, that what I want, because it's just open your eyes to what is really hiding in you. And sometimes, most of the times, we get to go in the field together with Kelly and the organization to really experience in the life in a totally new life, and to really figure out, like, where do we belong and what do I want exactly in life.
Yeah, no, I love that. And, I to be able to meet different people and be able to meet them where they're at. And again, maybe it's just a small step to start with. And maybe it's just something that gets that spark lit and lets them be able to then say, I hadn't even thought about this, or this wasn't even the path that I thought I was on, or, I grew up in a family that, wasn't like this. And and that's okay. We all grew, majority of us, certainly, yes, there are those that maybe they were born into vegan families and they never knew anything but being vegan. And that's wonderful for those individuals. It does not make me, you, or anyone else out there any less of a person because we got the path to get there in a different way. And I think sometimes in this community, people look and go, for some reason, as soon as they make that click and as soon as it clicks for them and whatever path they get on, they forget that they were ever that other person. And they suddenly act like that this is who they've been all along. And I can tell you, this isn't who I was all along. I spent years not running a sanctuary. I spent years, not being vegan. And sometimes, I often get knocked because I had food allergies that actually made the initial for me of like, oh, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have that. And so sometimes people, I've literally heard the term from people, oh, so it was easy for you. You had an easy path because you had to do it. And I was like, no, like I still made a choice. I still chose to go in that direction. Certainly that was the thing that made the spark for me and made me start to like make the connections that I needed to make. But that doesn't make me any less of a vegan because I had a different path that somebody else had. And there's this superiority complex that comes in from many different avenues here. So it's not just those that are vegan. It's not just some of those that run sanctuaries. It's not just those who have started other large activism groups. There is this place that we need to start being kinder to each other within the movement, because everyone else is already attacking us on the outside. So if we don't join together, we're not going to be able to have the force that we need to get through and get past that stuff. We will continue to remain small in what we're doing because we did not join together and really have that good band across the entire space that we want to get into, to be able to get to everybody that we can get to with the same message. We're all speaking the same thing. We may just be doing it in different ways. And now we need to join together to actually get that message out there.
It is so powerful. That is also one of the many things I so much love with you, Kelly, is you don't see a person as a title or a person where they come from. You see them as a living being at the same worth as everyone have. We are all on the same level, and that is something I really love about you. And the intro call we have is just like, oh my God, I meet one of us, really see people as equal, no matter what you're eating, no matter where you're coming from, because it comes to a point we all want to be seen and heard. Like we all have a soul that wants to be seen and be enfolded into who we're meant to be.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if people did that to us, then we would have been wiped out a long time ago, because, certainly again, I wasn't this person, 20 years ago or 25 years ago. And so if somebody had done that to me, if somewhere along the way I had been diminished because I wasn't doing exactly the way they were doing or what they were doing, then who would I be today? I mean, those are all things that I had to go through that, and I had to make those steps, and I had to get to the place that I was on my own so that I could then stand in that. And if somebody else told me you are nothing, or you're not valuable, or you're not someone who's okay, or, you're a horrible human being. Look, do we all, I absolutely look at things sometimes and I think, oh, I need that to stop. I need that animal suffering to stop. I need them to stop doing that to animals. And certainly if I could be a little, fairy fluttering around to make it happen for everybody, I 100% would. And I would put little pixie dust on everybody to be able to say, there you go. Now everybody's doing what we want to do. That would be phenomenal power that I would have. However, because I am humble in who I am and what I know I can do, I'm able to say, this is where I can make some change and make some difference and get that voice out there. And again, it's not going to be a popular thing. There's going to be people who may even listen to this who will go, oh, well, she's not beating down the word of what needs to happen for animal movement in order to make animal movement happen properly. What is properly? Okay. So, you know what I do? I come into everything fumbling my way and trying to figure out at the end of the day, who I am and where I can best make some type of, connection, movement, positivity into where I'm at and what I'm doing. And it doesn't mean that I don't look at things sometimes and go, oh, I wish we were big like that. Oh, I wish we, I had that. Oh, I wish we had that many followers. Oh, I'm human. I'm also human.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I do have that too, but I hope that at the end of the day, when I communicate with people and when I'm one-on-one with people, when I'm actually there in their presence, that I have that unity feeling coming out of me rather than the internal struggles that I might have sometimes of my own insecurities in being within this industry and the things that still can kind of hurt because I am human. So when they do come from people that I want to be able to believe in where I'm going, sure, those are knocks that hurt. But hopefully I have enough people within this community. I have enough belief in where I'm going and what I'm doing. I have enough strength to know that even though I'm not doing it exactly the way that everybody else wants it done, I am still doing good. And I'm still creating something positive out there for those that maybe felt the exact same thing that I felt. And maybe this will give them a little bit of a, ounce of energy to push forward through it.
Oh, God. I just love that. I really love that. One thing that really come up with me is like, yes, it's so important to meet people with empathy, no matter what we are, no matter what the person chooses to do to us. For me, there is a part of my character, I can be a boundary pusher and push back on a good way, is I have stand on the other side of being a people pleaser, really doing self-harm on so many deep levels. And one things I say sometimes to people when I'm just like, enough, I'm tired of to hear you choose to judge me, because it's the person that is in pain. Sometimes it serves to you guys out there. Sometimes it really serves. Here it's so important, before I say, here it's so important to also know like who you are, where you're coming from, also to heal yourself so that you're coming from a powerful place, a place where you owning your voice and you know where you're coming from. Before you're going in defense, because that is just do more harm and more suffering, and it's just like mud fights. Is I've been the person that have been judged. I've been the person in areas where I've been judged, like it's not good enough, you get to fix this, like always focus on the negativity. And that was close to be my last day on this earth, because when a person chooses to judge as like talking down, talking behind the back, speak bad, comment on social media, you need to you the honest, you never know if your words is the last words where the person will take their own life. And I'm sorry to be straight with you, I was one of them. So to you the audience, it is so critical to you to know if you choose to judge, really knowing maybe your words will turn the life the last day on this earth, because it was me and I know people out there that experience that. So judgments is violence, is one of the same type of violence. And sometimes I can be very like, when I experience violence, because I experience so much on a high level, I could be very like, enough.
Yeah.
from a good place. And it's also important to meet sometimes when a person judges me, I can feel it's also a thing to like be in this work, also to the audience, to save animals. It takes take a strong leadership. It takes you to knowing your emotions, to knowing who you are, because it will shake you up on, as Kelly is saying, what you receive of judgments, because you will create haters. Haters will be out there. People will just, it is part of the game. You will receive that when you choose to have opinions, share your voice, showing up. You will create that, because some people never come there, and the only thing they can do is judge. Sometimes it's also a way to the audience. It's also feel about it. Sometimes I go to people with empathy and say, I'm seeing you, hear you. This is my experience of you right now. And it can open the balloon around a person to just like start crying and saying, I'm so sad right now. So it's dependent on where the person is. What we get to also put a line in the sand and say, here is my line. And I respect your line, what you're doing in life, and I expect myself. And there, in my mind, we're meeting the other person with so deep respect and empathy. If you really be honest, really know where is your boundaries, and really take a stand for it from a standpoint of leadership and knowing your own past, and really owning your past, owning what you have done in the past, and say, this is a part of me. It don't define who I am. It is a part of me.
Yeah. No, and thank you so much. I mean, that's very important to share, and I appreciate it. And I know that that's certainly a vulnerable thing to put out there and to be able to share with people. And so, you're spot on. I mean, it's definitely something of, you have no idea, there's that thing that obviously floats around the internet of, you don't know what anyone's going through on any given day, or what's happening in their life on that given day. And it's true. It's true about animals. It's true about humans. It's true about everybody. And if we are people that are supposed to be able to feel empathy, and through that drive into what makes us want to make change, and what, makes us want to see a difference, we can't only offer that for just one place. We can't say, well, I'm reserving this for only the animals. I need to also care. I don't like, or necessarily, want to see those animals continue to be abused by people. But people as a whole, it's not an entire group. It's not an entire, like, all of the people out there are the people that we should then judge, because some of those people are people that certainly maybe want to see a difference and see a change. Maybe this is a place in their life that is a place that they're struggling with, and whatever that might be, that they're going to come out of it once they, as you said so eloquently, once they discover their own things and the things within them that are the things that they're struggling with, that are triggered, that need to be healed. Once they do that, for all you know, they may move away from where they're at. They may move into the direction of wanting to also make sure that the animals are safe in life. But you don't know that if all you do is walk up and judge them for that one thing that you're seeing in that blink of an eye. And if you're somebody who can immediately, wrap up and know everything about somebody just from one moment of talking to them, or one moment of, sitting down with them, that's great. Then, and honestly, you need to go into a different division, because you are, going to be renowned across the world. But that's not the case for all of us. And even though, many of us can do an immediate judgment, an immediate, like, oh, that's what I see. That's what I see right now in front of me. And I don't like that. And I'm going to judge that, or I don't like who they are. You can do that. We can all do that, but it's not going to serve anybody well in the end, because it's going to create that boundary and that wall. It's never going to invite those people in. It's never going to allow them to want to see anything different. They're going to shut off to whatever it is that I have to say, or whatever it is I'm trying to speak about. And so, certainly, absolutely understand that your words are so important to people. And it doesn't mean that you have to be walked on. Totally agree with you on it also doesn't mean that you need to be a people pleaser. That's not the case. But, know and understand that you cannot be a people pleaser and still have empathy for people, or for what people are going through. You can have both. There's definitely a path that allows for both.
Yeah, so powerful and so strong. So Kelly, where can people get connected with you guys? Like, where can people follow you? What is some action step they can do to be a part of your work, or make some lifestyle choices? Okay, there was 3 questions.
No, you're good. So you can definitely get connected with us. We are on Facebook and on Instagram. So we are on both. We're also on Twitter. And then we do have our Facebook page. So the www.farmestay.org. And so you can certainly find us in those areas. If you are ever in our area, we would absolutely love for you to visit and meet our beautiful residents. So yes, please do that if you happen to be in Minnesota, in the United States, which is cold at times. So definitely come during the decent weather. But we would love to have you, come and join us, come and be a part of it. Come and talk with me. Come and, absolutely reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk with people. I'm more than happy to, be able to discuss what are ways that people can look to reach outside of even sanctuary. Where can they go? What are other things that they can look at? Those are important things to me. Contact me if you feel like you're somebody who just needs that person that will absolutely talk and accept you where you're at and who, wherever you've decided at this moment. I would love to be that individual and be that open person for you, because I know that is something that sometimes people struggle with. So please know, I am judged just as you are. I may run a sanctuary, but I am still human and I feel judgment, and I certainly, have to navigate that. So I'm just like you. I'm not any different. I just happened to make this path was my path. And this is what worked for me. And this is something that I could strive for and a passion that I could work to make a difference. So this is where I'm at for that. And as far as lifestyle, definitely in your area, what we do at the sanctuaries, we try to introduce people to the animals, and then we say, think through and process through when you go to do something, or when you go to maybe make that next choice in your meal choices. Think about that particular animal that you connected with today, or that animal that really made something that for a moment in your mind today, when you were here, you thought, oh, I didn't realize that about that animal. I didn't realize that they go through that. And so take that moment and carry that forward into the next thing. Again, doesn't necessarily say that you're going to change everything tomorrow. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be different, but in that one moment, make a difference in that one moment and take that one initial step for something that will hopefully help you make a connection to what is your path. And that is something that I hope that everyone will take away from this today, at the very least, is to be able to just figure out what's for you and what works for you and what's going to be the best direction for you, because you are the only person that can drive that forward for you.
Amen. That was powerful. Well, that's my the audience. You're so much welcome, Kelly. So the audience, Kelly and I will invite you to go straight to their homepage, to the social media, and follow them. It is so critical for you to choose to take some actions right now after this interview, to choose to follow them, choose to be a part of their work, so that you get reminder, information. Who knows what they will serve you with. They are doing amazing, interesting things. And so we will invite you to go right now. Usually it's 5 minutes, no matter where you are, to click follow on the social media and be a part of the work, so that you keep updating around the information now and the insight you get now, and take the step forward as Kelly shared with you. So that was powerful, the lesson. And thank you so much, Kelly. Yes. It was amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Love, love, love. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'm so appreciative of being able to meet you and be part of this journey with you.
You're most welcome. It's a big blessing to have you guys a part of this movement, as you always will. It was a big gift, a blessing. So thank you so much for bottom heart, for being who you are, being a person with a strong voice, be brave to share their opinion, because that will make change on this earth, lasting change, opinion, make lasting change. So thank you so much, my friend, to have the courage to be you and speak up.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Have a wonderful rest of the summit. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.